Have you ever finished a lo-fi beat and feel confused because everything sounds technically right, but something still feels missing? The drums hit, the chords work, and the melody sounds good, yet the track feels flat and lifeless. In this episode, you'll discover why that problem might not be your sounds at all. It might be the way you're using space, and how reverb can instantly add emotion, depth, and atmosphere to your music.
You're listening to the Lofi Music Academy podcast, your go-to space for all things lo-fi. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of lo-fi music production.
Hi, and welcome to the Lofi Music Academy podcast. I'm Spencer J, your guide through the chilled-out, atmospheric world of lo-fi beats. Have you ever finished a lo-fi beat and thought, why does this still feel empty? The drums sound good, the chords are warm, and the melody also works, but somehow the track still feels flat, like there's no atmosphere around it. And honestly, this is one of the biggest frustrations that producers run into with lo-fi music, because lo-fi isn't really about complexity, it's about feeling. It's about creating an emotional environment that feels warm, nostalgic, calm and immersive. And one of the biggest tools responsible for that atmosphere is reverb. But reverb is also one of the easiest things to misuse. Too little reverb and your beat sounds dry. Too much reverb and the whole mix turns muddy. So in today's episode, we're breaking down how reverb actually works, why it matters emotionally, and how to use it intentionally to give your lo-fi beats more depth without ruining clarity. Because once you understand reverb emotionally, instead of just technically, your mixes start feeling completely different. A lot of beginner producers think reverb is there just to make sounds bigger, but really reverb creates space, it simulates an environment. Think about talking in a small bedroom versus inside a huge church. Your voice reacts differently because the sound reflects differently depending on the room. That's exactly what reverb plugins recreate. Once you start thinking about reverb as a space instead of an effect, your whole approach changes. Instead of asking how much reverb should I add, you start asking what kind of emotional space does this sound need? That's where lo-fi production becomes more intentional. A dry piano feels close and personal. A softly reverb piano feels reflective and emotional. A huge ambient piano feels distant and dreamlike. It's the same instrument, just a different emotional impact. And that emotional atmosphere is a huge part of what makes lo-fi feel immersive. Not all reverbs feel the same emotionally. Room reverbs are usually tighter and more subtle. They work great on drums and percussion because they add life without overwhelming the mix. Plate reverbs are smooth and warm, and these are amazing for pianos, Rhodes, guitars, and other melodic layers. And honestly, plate reverbs are one of the best starting points for lo-fi because they create atmosphere without sounding too huge. Then you have hall reverbs. These sound larger and more cinematic, which can create beautiful dreamlike ambience. And they're also one of the easiest ways to make a mix muddy if you overdo them. And finally, ambient or shimmer reverbs. These create floating atmospheric textures that you hear in cinematic lo-fi tracks. Beautiful when used subtly or dangerous when overused. And that's the key word here, subtlety. Because great lo-fi atmosphere usually isn't obvious. You feel it more than you consciously hear it. One of the most common mistakes producers make is putting giant reverbs on everything. And honestly, it makes sense why. A huge reverb instantly sounds emotional and impressive by itself. But once every instrument starts filling the same space, the mix loses clarity. The kick disappears, the snare loses punch. The melody gets washed out, and suddenly your beat sounds blurry instead of immersive. This happens because reverb tails overlap constantly. And in lo-fi music, where lots of sounds already share warm mid-range frequencies, too much ambience creates build-up really fast. One of the easiest ways to fix this is shortening your decay time. A lot of beginner reverbs simply last too long, especially on drums. Another huge improvement comes from EQ. Most reverbs sound clearer instantly when you remove unnecessary low frequencies from the wet signal. You usually don't need deep bass frequencies echoing around the mix. And honestly, sometimes the best thing you can do is bypass the reverb just completely for a second and ask, did this actually improve the emotion, or did it just make the sound bigger? Because bigger is not always better. Real depth in your track comes from contrast. Some sounds should feel close, some should feel distant, and some should feel wide, and some should actually stay dry. That contrast creates dimension. For example, your drums might stay up front while your chords sit slightly further back with some softer ambience. Then textures and atmospheric layers can sit even further in the background. That layering creates a three-dimensional feeling, and honestly, this is one of the biggest differences between beginner and advanced mixers. Professional producers understand restraint. A lot of the best ambience sits quietly underneath the track. You don't always notice it directly, you just feel the atmosphere emotionally, and that's what makes lo-fi so powerful. If there's one thing I want you to remember from this episode, it's this. Reverb is not about making your music sound huge. It's about making your music feel alive. It creates warmth, distance, atmosphere, emotion. And once you start thinking about reverb as an emotional design instead of just an effect plugin, your entire approach to production changes. So next time your beat feels flat, don't immediately search for new sounds or expensive plugins. Ask yourself, what kind of emotional space does this track need? Because sometimes the most important part of a lo-fi beat isn't the note itself, it's the actual atmosphere around it. And in the next episode, we're going to dive deeper into creative reverb techniques, textured layers, ambient sound design, and how to create a cinematic lo-fi atmosphere that feels immersive and unique. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing it with fellow music producers who might find it useful. Until next time, keep creating, stay inspired, and remember, it's all about the vibe. Take care and see you in the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Lofi Music Academy podcast. If you're ready to start making lo-fi music and want to go even deeper, grab your free guide. Discover the 6 essential steps to create a release-ready lo-fi track from scratch. Whether you're using budget gear in your bedroom or a small home studio, this guide will help you get that polished, dreamy lo-fi sound you're after. Just go to www.lofimusicacademy.com. Until next time, keep creating those laid-back vibes, and don't forget to subscribe for more lo-fi tips and tricks.